Global Warming: A Challenge for Agriculture. Presents Dr. Guillermo Rodriguez Hernandez. There are two theories that try to explain global warming. Number 1, greenhouse effect, which is a process in which solar radiation is amplified when passing through the layers of gases, or glass, and is also trapped in the atmosphere due to greenhouse gases, nitrate, sulfate, ozone, carbon dioxide, fluorocarbon compounds and methane. For example, in a greenhouse, if we have a temperature of 26.6 degrees Celsius when the short-wave radiation from the sun passes through the glass, in approximately 1 hour it rises to 50.5 degrees Celsius because it transforms into a long-wave, caloric. The above process occurs in a closed system. The atmosphere behaves as an open system, since there is a general circulation of the atmosphere, air movement. So what actually occurs is a thermal inversion of temperature, presenting three different types of temperature: 0 degrees Celsius, 26.6 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Celsius respectively. The Tambora volcano is an active stratovolcano with an altitude of 2,850 meters above sea level, located on the island of Sumbawa, Indonesia. It was from April 5 to 1815 that the Plinian eruption of the volcano occurred. The temperature, in a matter of hours, went from 35 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius freezing point. In May 1815, frost burned most of the crops that had been planted, and on June 2 a great snowstorm caused many deaths, and on the 21st of June summer did not enter. Something similar happens in a nuclear winter. The gravitational fields of the Moon, 80%, and the Sun, 20%, affect the heating of the core of planet Earth, tidal heating, where temperatures of up to 6,000 degrees Celsius are recorded. Influencing continental drift, plate tectonics, lithological cycle, volcanic eruptions, lava flows, geyser, etc. The magnetic field, magnetosphere, of the Earth was formed due to the existence of the metallic core, which is made up of nickel, iron, uranium, plutonium, etc., thus forming a magnetosphere protection shield that deflects most of the solar winds and cosmic rays, preventing the erosion, destruction, of the Earth's atmosphere. 78% is nitrogen, 21% is oxygen and 1% other gases. National Aeronautics and Space Administration. When the Moon was just formed, it was 15 times larger than today, and the force of gravity was 4,000 times more intense than today. The rotation speed of both bodies was decreasing. The day has been lengthening from 4:18 to 24 hours currently. The primitive tides were more frequent, as shown by the tide rhymes. Of the 21,000 kilometers separation that the Moon had with respect to the Earth, currently the separation is 384,400 kilometers. The Moon is the mother of all cycles and the main climate regulator of the Earth. Great impact theory, formation of the Moon. It was seen in size percent. Force of gravity meters over seconds squared. Day length in hours. Average temperature a surface core degrees Celsius. Earth-Moon separation kilometers current. The investigation detailed that the initial analysis of the samples collected by the Chang'e 5 mission, the 1st of December, 2020, had concluded that the Moon had active volcanoes 2 billion years ago, which later became extinct. Number 2, eccentricity. The Milankovitch cycles are based on the fact that variations in orbital distances are the cause of the three ages: first glacier age with 448 days, second current age with 365 days. and third aquatic age with 260 days. The climate changes according to the three previous ages to complete a cosmic cycle, 25,920 years, of the planet. Eccentricity is a coordinate systems in geodesy. It is represented by the geometry, size and shape of the orbits, which manifest as the curvature of space-time. As the planet moves in an elliptical line, the immersion alters its trajectory and the size of the orbit, thus forming a gravity well, vortex. This depends on the mass of the surrounding bodies, such as galaxies, stars, sun, planets, moons, etc., which is based on archaeological evidence, paleoclimate records, Arthur Posnanski 1946. And general relativity is a metric theory of gravitation, Albert Einstein's 1915. In 1941 the Serbian astrophysicist M. Milanković published a mathematical astronomical theory, cyclic changes in Earth's orbit. The theory of special relativity, published in 1905, deals with the physics of the movement of bodies in the absence of gravitational forces, in which Maxwell's equations of electromagnetism were made compatible with a reformulation of the laws of motion. In the theory of special relativity, Einstein, Lorentz, Minkowski and Marcel Grossmann, among others, unified the concepts of space and time, in a four-dimensional branch that was called curved space-time. Special relativity was a revolutionary theory for its time, with which Newton's absolute time was relegated and concepts such as the invariance in the speed of light, time dilation, length contraction and the equivalence between mass and energy were introduced. Newtonian gravity. The orbits, perimeter, are due to a force called gravity. General relativity. Gravity well. Time. Euclid's geometry. Euclid's plane geometry. Orbit, perimeter, equal. Diameter equal. In Euclid's plane geometry in a triangle the sum of its angles gives me 180 degrees. For Euclid's plane geometry, the ratio of the circumference, distance around, orbit, perimeter, to the diameter, distance across, is always equal to pi, which rounded to 4 decimal places equals 3.1416. When dividing the perimeter by the diameter it is equal to pi 3.1416. Furthermore, two parallel lines never touch. Riemann's geodesy geometry, coordinate systems in geodesy. Theory and applications, Bernhard Riemann 1859. Riemannian geometry is the branch of differential geometry also called spheroidal, hyperbolic, that studies of angle, length of curves, surface area and volume. The sphere can be represented in as three-dimensional representation as a spherical object. Dividing the diameter by the perimeter can give us a value less. For example, pi is equal to dividing the perimeter of the planet Earth equator, 40,000 kilometers, by the diameter 20,000 kilometers. As a result it is equal to 2. The previous result is less than pi plane, because the planet Earth has a spheroid shape and the diameter curves. In a spheroidal the sum of its internal angles is greater than 180 degrees. In a plane, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180. In a hyperbolic, the sum of its interior angles is less than 180 degrees. Also, two parallel lines do touch each other, meridian. Coordinate systems in geodesy. The Coriolis effect influences the direction of cyclone, anticyclone, general circulation of the atmosphere, air movement, maritime currents, etc. Lorentz-Fitzgerald contraction is real. The helical model of our solar system, galaxies, etc. It is like a vortex of rotation and translation, through its ellipsoidal orbit. The universe is flat, its rectilinear movement through immersion in the trampoline, gravity well, is a manifestation of the curvature of space-time, vortex. Cosmic cycle equal 12 constellations equal 25,920 year divided by 2,160 equal cosmic year. Therefore gives me equal to 3 ages. The Dendra zodiac is very similar to that of Babylonian. Cosmic felines. Milankovitch cycles. 25,920 year, divided by 2,160 equal cosmic year. Therefore gives me equal to 3 ages. Eccentricity, first glacier age, whose duration was 448 days. Second current age, whose duration is 365 days. And third aquatic age, whose duration is 260 days. Duodecimal. Is the universe a holographic dodecahedron? Is the universe curved? According to what was published by United Kingdom National Physical Laboratory scientist, Earth is spinning faster now than it was 50 years ago. Scientists. What happens if the Earth spins faster? Answer: that planet Earth is getting closer to the Sun. According to the average mass energy density, in 1 cubic meter there are 7 hydrogen atoms. The above tells me that the universe is spherical in curvature. According to the average mass energy density, in 1 cubic meter there are 5 hydrogen atoms. The above tells me that the universe has a hyperbolic curvature. According to the average mass energy density, in 1 cubic meter there are 6 hydrogen atoms. The above tells me that the universe is flat, presenting a curvature of equal 0.0007 more or less 0.0019. In a plane, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. For example, 6 to 5 plus 6 to 5 plus 50 equals 180 degrees. Cosmic wheel of the zodiac. Eccentricity 12 constellations. Archaeoastronomy. Cosmic cycle equal 12 constellations equal 25,920 year, divided by 2,160 equal cosmic year. Therefore gives me equal to 3 ages. Every 2,160 years the Earth's axis moves 30 degrees. Therefore gives me equal to 25,920 years equal 360 degrees. 2,160 years divided by 72 equal 30 degrees. 72 years equal 1 degrees. 30 degrees times 12 degrees equal 360 degrees. Eccentricity, first glacier age, whose duration was 448 days. Second current age, whose duration is 365 days. And third aquatic age, whose duration is 260 days. The door of the Sun Kalasayati Wanaku. The door of the Sun, 3.65 meters wide and 2.60 meters high. The archaeological evidence is interpreted through the iconography, calendar ribbon, pillars, sun. Has been amplified, first glacier age, Scorpius, 17,280 year, pillars, sun, 4.48 meters hypotenuse. The 17 suns on the calendar ribbon. Second current age, Cancer, 8,640 year, pillars, sun, 3.65 meters wide. The 11 suns on the calendar ribbon. And third aquatic age, Pisces, 25,920 year, pillars, sun, 2.60 meters high. The 7 suns on the calendar ribbon. The meters are equal to days. Arthur Posnanski that the city of Tiwanaku was founded in 15,450 in the middle of the antediluvian First Glacier Age. Space Technology Students Society Archaeoastronomy is the study of how ancient societies used astronomy and celestial events in their cultures. Some famous archaeoastronomical monumentos of the world are ancient architects. The Dendra zodiac, Egyptians, is very similar to Babylonia, Sumerians. Second current age. Setting sun. The 21st of December summer solstice. Equinox the 22nd of September spring, and equinox March 20 autumn. The 21st of June winter solstice. Chunshukela the 11 pillars on the calendar wall. The land of sunset. Sumerians in South America. Sumerians in Tiahuanaco. The Magna Fountain discovered in Bolivia on the shores of Lake Titicaca in the year 1950. Engraved with Proto-Sumerian writing. In the center you can see an engraving of an Olmec, who wears a helmet that makes him look like an ancient alien. Samuel Noah Kramer. History begins at Sumer. Inanna, Venus, friend of the king Gilgamesh. On the feet of the goddess Inanna you can see that she is a tridactyl being. In the year 2017, tridactyl mummies were found in Nazca, Peru. The catastrophic climate changes, prophesied in the Door of the Sun are, First Glacier Age with 448 days, Second Current Age with 365 days, and Third Aquatic Age with 260 days. As the Earth gets closer to the Sun, a global overheating of the planet occurs, causing the melting of the poles and glaciers of the high mountains. The level of seawater rises to 70 meters and, in addition, the average temperature of the planet increases from 16 to 26 degrees Celsius. The planets Mercury, 125 degrees Celsius, and Venus, 471 degrees Celsius, have a higher temperature than planet Earth. This is due to their greater proximity to the Sunday average temperature of the planets. Third Aquatic Age, whose duration is 260 days. The orbit has a perimeter of 669,589,041 km year 2160. Third Aquatic Age. The level of seawater rises to 70 meters. Third Aquatic Age. Floating cities have been built. The level of seawater rises to 70 meters. Are we going to have to live in a yellow submarine? Third Aquatic Age, year 2160. Theory of relativity. It states that the laws of physics cannot depend on the speed at which you moved. All you could measure was the speed of one object relative to another. Gravity. It is like falling on the surface of a trampoline, space-time, where the planet Earth, massive object, rotates and translates through its ellipsoidal orbit above it. Gravity is revealed as a manifestation of the curvature of space-time. As the planet travels in a curved line, the dip alters its trajectory. Gravity well. The Sun's gravity with enough mass can bend light. Lorentz Fitzgerald contraction is real. This phenomenon would be observed in a total solar eclipse, when the stars could be seen in the presence of the Sun. The previous phenomenon was observed on an island off the coast of West Africa on the 29th of May, 1919 by Sir Arthur Eddington. So gravity is not a force. A black hole can be seen in space due to the formation of gravitational lenses, which cause the path of surrounding light passing through it to bend. Energy equation is equal to mass times speed of light squared. A body with sufficient mass bends the path of surrounding light that passes through it, such as galaxies, black hole, sun, stars, planets, etc. The theory of relativity includes both the theory of special relativity and general relativity, formulated mainly by Albert Einstein at the beginning of the 20th century, which sought to resolve the incompatibility between Newtonian mechanics and electromagnetism. An observer with a telescope in another position, at rest, always has a very different point of view with respect to the crew member of the moving spacecraft. You would observe that there is no variation in time, size of the spacecraft, orbit, perimeter, and Earth diameter. Lorentz Fitzgerald contraction is real. A crew member of a spacecraft in an accelerating, moving forward, position always has a very different point of view with respect to the observer at rest. I would observe that if there is a lot of variation in time, the faster you are accelerating, moving forward, the slower you age. The size of the spacecraft contracts, decreases. The spacecraft has a shorter orbit length, perimeter, and its Earth diameter is curved. On the 2nd of August 1971, Captain David Scott, commander of the Apollo 15 mission, conducted an experiment on the lunar surface, dropping a hammer and a feather simultaneously to demonstrate Galileo's theory that objects fall at the same speed in the absence of air resistance, which led to the following conclusion. Gravity is not a force. The objects are not falling, the ground is hitting them. Gravity, well, is a manifestation of the curvature of space-time, vortex. Translation speed, arithmetic mean equal 107,280 km per hour. Diameter equal. Orbit, perimeter, equal. Zero gravity, microgravity. The International Space Station, satellites and the spaceship, they are falling at the same time towards planet Earth, at a speed of 28,000 km per hour. Translation speed that describes an elliptical orbit of planet Earth, perihelion equal 108,500 km per hour and aphelion equal 106,060 km per hour. Arithmetic mean equal 107,280 km per hour. The angular speed of rotation at the equator of planet Earth, perihelion equal 1,700 km per hour and aphelion equal 1,640 km per hour. Arithmetic mean equal 1,670 km per hour. The Earth is spinning faster. What does this change of the planet bring with it? According to what was published by United Kingdom National Physical Laboratory scientist, Earth is spinning faster now than it was 50 years ago. Scientists. What happens if the Earth spins faster? Answer: that planet Earth is getting closer to the Sun. Earth is spinning faster now than it was 50 years ago. Scientists. Year 2020-50 equal to 1970. On the 29th of June of the year 2022, it took 23:59:59:99841. On the 29th of July 2022, the planet saved -1.59 milliseconds on its daily journey of 86,400 seconds. The 29th of June was an even faster day. He finished the turn with -1.59 milliseconds ahead. Two brands like this express a trend. Over the past 5 decades, fast turnovers abound. Translation speed that describes an elliptical orbit of planet Earth, perihelion equal 108,500 km per hour and aphelion equal 106,060 km per hour. Arithmetic mean equal 107,280 km per hour. The angular speed of rotation at the equator of planet Earth, perihelion equal 1,700 km per hour and aphelion equal 1,640 km per hour. Arithmetic mean equal 1,670 km per hour. Length of day, LOD, variations calculated by International Earth Rotation and Reference Systems Service, IERS, 14C04. The unit of geodetic LOD excitations is milliseconds. International Earth Rotation and Reference Systems Service, IERS. Earth spinning faster. Answer: that planet Earth is getting closer to the Sun. The factors that can influence, so that the speed of rotation of the Earth is rotating faster are, a. movements of the molten core, continental drift, maritime currents and general circulation of the atmosphere. Chandler wobble. B. global warming of the planet. Melting of glaciers of the high mountains and poles. C. the Moon is moving away from Earth at a rate of 3.78 centimeters per year, which causes the Earth to spin slower. Astronomers from the McDonald Laboratory in Texas project a laser-ranging retroreflector, LRR, on two reflectors that the Apollo 11, 14 and 15 astronauts installed on the Moon in 1969 until the year 1985 to measure the distance in millimeters over the speed with which the Moon is moving away from the Earth. In the ensuing billions of years the Earth has continued to slow down and the Moon has moved away 3.78 centimeters per year. The solar year has approximately 365.2422 days. This system produces an average annual duration of 365.2425 days. Translation: 365 days, 5 hours and 49 seconds. Arithmetic mean equal 107,280 km per hour. Rotation, 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4.2 seconds. Arithmetic mean equal 1,670 km per hour. In other words, in simplified form, plus 6 hours times 4 equal 24 hours equal 1 extra day. Leap year 366 days. Add one more day every 4 years, on the 29th of February. The Moon is Earth's climate regulator. The changes in the Earth's axis have a periodicity of approximately 41,000 years. The Moon has a diameter of 3,474.8 kilometers. The distance from Earth to the Moon is 384,400 kilometers. Fundamental forces of the universe: number 1 gravitational force, number 2 electric magnetic force, number 3 strong nuclear force, Coulomb, number 4 weak nuclear force, and number 5 general expansion force of the universe. Translation: 365 days, 0 hours and 0 seconds. Arithmetic mean equal 108,100 km per hour. Rotation, 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4.2 seconds. Arithmetic mean equal 1,670 km per hour. As the Earth is spinning faster, it is no longer necessary to make this correction. In other words, in simplified form, minus 6 hours times 4 equal minus 24 hours equal minus 1 extra day. It will no longer be necessary to add another day, so the leap year thing disappears. List of leap years from 1900 to 3000. A leap year is a year in which an extra day is added to the calendar in order to synchronize it with the seasons. The table below lists the leap years FOM 1900 to 3000. We have shown in red the 4 years which during this period are not when we might have thought the opposite. Formula: divisible by 4. Not divisible by 100, unless divisible by 400. The years 1900, 2100, 2200, 2300, 2500, 2600, 2700, 2900 and 3000 are not leap years. This scheme results in the vernal equinox gradually shifting its date between March the 19th and 21st, being shifted once every leap year. Global warming: a challenge for agriculture. In May 2025, the state of Zacatecas recorded temperatures of 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, due to the anticyclonic conditions that were established in the atmosphere. Forest fires increased, consuming more than 900,000 hectares of forests and natural areas. States such as Jalisco, Michoacán, Chihuahua and Monterrey headed the list of the most affected, where the combination of high temperatures, extreme droughts and lack of preventive strategies, planting and water harvesting, aggravated the situation. The consequences were not limited to environmental loss, but also seriously impacted the communities that depend on these ecosystems, both economically and socially. National Forestry Commission. The central problems that arise. Challenge for agriculture are: number 1. The drought and the lack of sowing and water harvesting techniques. Number 2. Missing dams, banks, water troughs, maintenance through desilting, crops on terraces and contours of native vegetation, reforestation, to promote the infiltration of rainwater into the subsoil, to avoid soil erosion. Storage of rainwater from roofs and patios, as in the convent of Guadalupe, Zacatecas, Fray Antonio Margil de Jesus 1707 year. Number 3. Treatment and sanitation of wastewater for recycling, sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation. In 2025, the storage level of Mexico's 210 largest reservoirs reached 64%. In 2025, the La Niña phenomenon continued into spring. By May, 4 or 5 heat waves, 35–45 degrees Celsius, had occurred. Starting in June, rainfall has increased significantly over more than 50% of the country. El Niño phenomenon refers to a warm maritime current that exceeds 20 degrees Celsius. Until 1957 it was thought to be a local coastal phenomenon. It causes climate, warm, rainy and decrease in atmospheric pressure. Global warming of the planet allows it to occur more frequently, promoting climate change, affecting the semi-arid areas of the state of Zacatecas with droughts. The average annual rainfall is 510 millimeters. Followed by another 3 years of drought, 230 millimeters. Mexico on the brink of drought. El Niño effects, with droughts in northern Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, southern Panama, Venezuela, northern Ecuador, northern coast of Chile, Colombia and northeastern Brazil. What is the Foehn effect? The Foehn effect: the windward slope, vertical temperature gradient ascending, it decreases by 1 degree Celsius for every 100 meters. Updraft 20 degrees Celsius, expanding and cooling, cool and wet, cloud formation and orographic rain. 0 degrees Celsius low air pressure. The leeward slope, vertical temperature gradient descending, it increases by 1 degree Celsius for every 100 meters. Downdraft 0 degrees Celsius, compressing and warming. High pressure, anticyclone system. High air pressure. Warm and dry 30 degrees Celsius. The surface temperature of Jupiter's moon Europa is -160 degrees Celsius at the equator, and -220 degrees Celsius at the poles. The ice covering is 30 kilometers thick, followed by liquid ocean under ice, salt water, 170 kilometers. NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, the 21st of March, 2024. The metallic core is made of nickel and iron. It has an external layer composed mainly of siliceous rocks, rocky interior. The gravitational fields of Jupiter, 90%, and the Sun, 10%, affect the warming of the core of Europa, tidal heating, where temperatures of up to 6,000 degrees Celsius are recorded, which causes it to contract, expand, distort the surface, forming enormous cracks, formation of hydrothermal vents, cleogeysers up to 200 kilometers high, gravity force 1.314 meters over seconds squared, and magnetosphere. Conclusions: 2024 was the warmest year. The global average surface temperature, World Meteorological Organization, increasing by 1.5 degrees Celsius. The oceans have recorded the warmest temperatures on the surface and up to 2 kilometers deep. Sea level rise 3.1 centimeters per decade. About 91% of the excess heat from global warming is hiding in the oceans. United Nations Organization, which makes ocean heat content a critical indicator of climate change caused by tidal heating. Solar radiation heats air, land and ice by 9%. Conclusions: the calendars based on the archaeoastronomy of Dendra, Babylon and the Door of the Sun, first glacier age with 448 days, second current with 365 days and third aquatic age with 260 days. They coincide with the theory cyclic changes in the Earth's orbit, eccentricity, published by Milankovitch in the year 1941, as well as explaining why the Earth has lately been spinning unusually faster than it did 50 years ago. International Earth Rotation and Reference System Service. This is due to the fact that when going from a medium elliptical orbit with a duration of 365 days, to a short elliptical orbit with a duration of 260 days, which causes the average temperature of the planet to increase from 16 to 26 degrees Celsius, causing the melting of the poles and glaciers of the high mountains. The seawater level rises to 70 meters. The two previous ages coincide with the Mayan calendar, which is based on archaeoastronomy. Questions. A Stairway to Heaven. End. To be continue. Thank you very much for your attention.